French Revolution. M.C.Qs. Number 1. Louis XVI belonged to A. Tudor dynasty, Bourbon dynasty, Bourbon dynasty, or none of these. Answer is Bourbon dynasty. Next, when was Bastille prison attacked? Options are 14 June 1789, 14 July 1789, 14 July 1786, 14 June 1796. Correct answer is 14 July 1789. Next, noble, clergy and rich members belongs to A. First estate, second estate, third estate or fourth estate. Correct answer is first estate. Next, by whom was social contract written? A. Voltaire, B. Rousseau, C. Adam Smith, D. Gorkey. Answer is Rousseau. Next, two treatises of government was written by A. Rousseau, B. John Locke, C. Montesquieu and D. none of these. Correct answer is John Locke. Men and women who did not have right to vote in France were called active citizens, passive citizens, old citizens or young citizens. Correct answer is passive citizens. Next, Merseillese was a representative of third estate. Next, B. National Anthem of France, C. Public Club or D. Militia. Correct answer is National Anthem of France. Next, leaders of Jacobin Club was A. Maximilien Robespierre, Robert de Souza, Louis XVI or Marie Antoinette. Correct answer is Maximilien Robespierre. Wearing red cap symbolizes A. Symbol of royal power, B. Symbol of liberty, C. Symbol of power, D. All of the above. Correct answer is symbol of liberty. Next, Louis XVI was executed publicly on A. 1st January 1793, 21st January 1793, 8 July 1789 or 12 June 1783. Correct answer is 21st January 1793. Next, Dr. Guillotine invented A. Medicine for headache, B. An instrument to behead a person, C. A new constitution, D. None of the above. Correct answer, an instrument to behead a person. Next, directory means addresses of the Legislative Council, B. Formed by a military dictator, C. An executive made up of 5 members, D. List of names. Correct answer is an executive made up of 5 members. Next, triangular slave trade was held between A. Europe, Africa and America, B. Spain, Portugal and France, C. Egypt, India and England and D. India, England and Europe. Correct answer is Europe, Africa and America. Next, Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated in A. Battle of Paris, B. Battle of Ucador, C. Battle of Waterloo and D. Battle of Plassey. Correct answer is Battle of Waterloo. What was Tithes? A tax levied by church, a tax levied by king, unit of currency in France, none of these. Correct answer is a tax levied by the church. Next, tax from peasant to church was called? A. Tithes, B. levies, C. Taille, and D. Manor. Correct answer is Tithes. Next is, which period in the history of France is known as Reign of Terror? A. 1793 to 1798, B. 1793 to 1799, C. 1793 to 1794, D. 1793 to 1796. Correct answer is 1793 to 1794. Next is, whose rule in the history of France is known as Reign of Terror? A. John Locke, B. Jacque Rousseau, C. Maximilien Robespierre, and D. Roger de Isle. Correct answer is Maximilien Robespierre. The idea of dash and dash were the most important legacy of French Revolution. A. Liberty, democratic right, B. Economic equality and voting rights, C. Liberty and social rights, D. Liberty and equality. Correct answer is liberty and democratic rights. Next is, what was the literary meaning of Sans-cullotters? Correct options are those without knee breeches, B. those who wear red cap, C. female figure in liberty, and D. the aristocracy. Correct answer is those without knee breeches. Next is, in the context of France, the tennis court oath took place on A. 14th July 1789, B. 20th June 1789, C. 4th August 1789, and D. 5th May 1789. Correct answer is 20th June 1789. Next is, who wrote an influential pamphlet called What is the Third Estate? A. Abbe Sieyes, B. Rousseu, C. Mirabeau, and third, none of these. Correct answer is Abbe Sieyes. Who among the following enjoyed certain privileges by birth in France during the late 18th century? Options are big businessmen and merchants, B. peasants and artisans, C. clergy and nobles, and D. court officials and lawyers. Correct answer is clergy and nobles. In which year women of France got their voting rights? Options are A. in 1945, B. 1946, C. 1948, and D. 1952. Correct answer is 1946. Who abolished slavery in France? A. Louis XVI, B. Jacobin Clubs, C. Church, and D. Nobility. Correct answer, the Jacobin Clubs.